Hi, everyone. My name's Taylor. I'm a single mom who's been through a lot to raise my son, Eric. Many single moms have supportive families, and I thought I did too. But it turns out I was wrong. I found out the hard way. Thankfully, I was able to stand up to the people who tried to mess up my and my son's life. My ex-husband, Carl, is awful. Just thinking about him makes me sick. There was a time when I was really in love with him, but things got bad after we got married. Carl was great when we were dating, but as a husband, he was a nightmare. He became controlling and then abusive. I stayed in that marriage for over 8 years because he manipulated me and made me feel like I had to stay. At first, I thought my son deserved a father, so I didn't leave right away. Things got worse one day when Eric was 5. Carl started hitting me really hard, and my poor son saw me in pain and tried to stop his dad. But Carl was so angry that he ended up pushing Eric to the floor. That was the breaking point for me. I called Child Protective Services, CPS, and the police, and they helped keep Carl away from us. But he was determined to get back at me. He said, "You think you can run away from me, Taylor? That will never happen. Sooner or later, I will have you and my son back in my house. Just wait and watch. We're getting a divorce, Carl. There's no way I'll allow you near me and my son again, even if we divorce. I'll find a way to protect Eric. I am his dad, and I have rights." Carl's behavior and his violent history made me very scared. My son was deeply affected and had to go to therapy to cope with what happened. After a long court battle, Carl and I were finally divorced. But that wasn't the end of it. Moved far away to live near my parents and sister to be safe from Carl. I even got restraining orders against him. It was the most horrible time of my life. Carl never knew exactly where I moved. He could have guessed, but he didn't have my exact address. Being near my family made me feel safe again. However, my parents weren't really supportive of my decision to divorce. They asked, was it really necessary to get a divorce? Couldn't you two have gone to therapy and worked things out? It's not a big deal. Poor little Eric has to lose his dad over your problems. That's so unfair. He must be devastated not being able to see his dad. I was shocked. Are you serious right now? Carl used to beat me up, Mom. He even put his hands on Eric. My son was only trying to protect me. How can you not see what a monster Carl is? Mom, Dad, you need to be more sympathetic toward Taylor. She's been through a lot. You have no right to make her feel guilty. She did the right thing. At first, my parents tried to talk me into letting Eric see his dad, but I never allowed it. They were never happy with my decision. They kept saying, "Why don't you let Carl visit Eric? He must miss his son." How would you feel if I wasn't around when you were growing up? I know I would have been devastated. Taylor, you grew up in a household with 2 parents. You can't be. You're so selfish with Eric. He deserves his father's love. Soon he'll start resenting you for keeping his dad out of his life. What are you even talking about? Eric is terrified of his dad. He begs me not to let him near us again. He has no desire to see his dad, and neither do I. You must be influenced by all the terrible things you've heard about Carl. Dad, if Carl was a good man and a loving father, he wouldn't have hit me in front of Eric, or at all. No matter how hard I tried, they wouldn't agree with my decision. But as time passed, they seemed to accept it. They were close to Eric and made great-grandparents. Eric bonded with them and his Aunt Blair. I think part of why my parents stopped pushing me was that I was financially supporting them. Blair and I sent them money each month because Dad doesn't have a good job and Mom doesn't work. Money might have been why they stopped bringing it up. Eric started school nearby and had a good job in an office. Things were going well, and I was happy surrounded by family. I had no idea my loved ones could be so awful to me. The second biggest betrayal of my life happened just a year after I left Carl. I was getting ready for a business trip to another city. I couldn't take Eric with me because there were no childcare options at work. I was stuck, wondering what to do with Eric, when my mom and dad suggested a plan. So, I heard you'll be leaving for a business trip soon. Your dad and I have been thinking about babysitting Eric for you. We can stay at your house and take care of both Eric and the house. Are you sure about this? Eric can be a handful, plus leaving your apartment empty could be a hassle. It's only for a few days, so I don't think it will be much trouble. We love Eric, and he loves us too. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to spend these days with us. Yeah, the two of us can stay here and babysit for you. Your house will be safe when you go on this trip. It's like getting two benefits in one. Since they insisted so much, I agreed to let them babysit Eric and stay at my house until I returned. I felt satisfied with the arrangements because I trusted my parents completely. Now I know I made a huge mistake. I shouldn't have trusted them at all. My business trip started a week later. I flew out at night after saying goodnight to Eric. I had to leave a day early to prepare for a meeting with a big client the next morning. Called my parents and Eric after reaching the hotel, and everything seemed normal. I had no idea what was about to happen that night while I was in my hotel room preparing for my meeting the next day. Blair called me, and for some reason, it made me nervous. I thought something might be wrong at home. Picked up the call, feeling anxious. Hey, Taylor, have you already flown out for your business trip? Yes, Blair. I arrived yesterday. It's not a long trip. Why? What's wrong? Did you leave Eric with our parents? Yes, Taylor. I think you made a mistake. I don't think you should have left Eric with them. I think they're planning something, and you won't like it. What do you mean? Tell me everything right now. You're scaring me. I think Mom and Dad might try to make Eric meet with Carl. They've been against your decision to get the restraining orders. You know how much they disapproved of your divorce and everything. I have a bad feeling they'll take Eric to Carl. No, no, no. Mom and Dad can't do that. There must be some misunderstanding. They didn't approve of the divorce, but they went inside with an abuser. I know you trust them a lot, but please be careful. If you need anything, I'm here. Thanks, Blair. I'll be careful. Don't worry. Blair's words made me very uneasy, so I decided to call my parents and check in with them. Hey, Mom, could you put Eric on the phone? I want to talk to him. Sure, Taylor. Hold on. Mom, are you there? Hi, Eric. I'm just checking in. Is everything okay? Are you having a good time? Mom, I need to tell you something. Grandma and Grandpa called Dad. Oh my God, my phone is about to die. I'm so sorry. Taylor, now I have to charge my phone. Why don't you call back later? Eric is fine and playing with us. You don't have to worry about anything. Take care. Bye. Something about the way Eric tried to talk to me made me suspicious, especially when Mom snatched the phone away before he could finish his words. My head was spinning from the situation, so I decided to check the security camera footage. I didn't have cameras inside the house, but I had them outside. Lo and behold, in my driveway was my ex-husband's car. I was shocked. I remembered the footage and saw Carl's car parked at my house. My mom had opened the door for him. I was furious and scared for Eric's and my own safety. Carl wasn't supposed to have my address. I even had a restraining order against him. He shouldn't have been near my son. I called my parents immediately, and I recorded the call. Mom, why the hell is Carl at my house? What's going on? Who permitted you to let him in? God, you need to relax, Taylor. Carl is not here. Why would you even say such a thing? Mom, I can see his car parked in my driveway. Did you forget that I have security cameras outside? I saw you open the door for him. There was a long silence on their end. Neither of them spoke. I can tell I've made them nervous, but nothing prepared me for what happened next. Look, I know you're upset at Carl and us, But you're being very unreasonable. You need to cut us some slack. Yes, I'm very disappointed in you, Taylor. You can't separate a son from his father. Eric needs Carl in his life. You're not being a good mom. Please tell me you're joking. Carl physically abused me. He even hit Eric when he tried to save me. How can you allow Carl back into his life? That was a long time ago, Taylor. We must forgive people. He's changed. Your stupid restraining order was causing a lot of problems. Yes, so your mom and I decided to take matters into our own hands. Since you wouldn't do it, we gave Carl our address and reunited father and son. They're so happy together. Mom, Dad, I'll give you exactly 5 minutes to kick Carl out. If you don't, there will be consequences. Don't threaten us, Taylor. We're your parents. You're 3,000 miles away. Carl will stay here as long as he wants. We're planning a picnic tomorrow. Now I'm hanging up before you talk any more nonsense. Mom said that and simply hung up on me. I literally gave them 5 minutes to kick Carl out. But when 5 minutes passed, his car was still in the driveway. I'd had enough at that point. I felt scared and betrayed, so I quickly called law enforcement. I gave them the rundown of the situation and told them to arrest Carl. I also instructed them to take Eric from my parents and give him to Blair. The police acted fast and reached my house within 5 minutes. Staying near a police station was the best decision of my life. I saw them confront my parents and Carl through the CCTV footage. My mom and dad looked panicked as the police went in to arrest Carl. Mom called me and said, "Taylor, what is wrong with you? Did you call the cops on us?" Carl could go to jail. He will go to jail, Mom. And so will you if you don't leave my house right now. I don't want you and Dad on my property again. I've called Blair. She will come and take Eric. You will never come near us again. How dare you, Taylor? You are a horrible woman. I wish you were never born. You cannot kick us out and take our grandchildren from us. We won't let that happen. Good luck with that, Mom and Dad. The police will stop and arrest you if you do anything stupid. They know that Eric will go with Blair. You can't do this. We have grandparent rights. We will sue you. Good luck trying to fight me in court. It'll be fun to see the judge's reaction when she realizes that you brought an abusive man in my house despite a restraining order. You'll be laughed out of court. Before either of my parents could reply, the police came out with handcuffs. Carl was escorted to the police car and put in the back seat. It gave me relief and satisfaction to see him back with the police. Then the police started to talk to my parents. They were flustered, and my dad was starting to shout at the cops. I'm sure they were trying to argue about Eric. Right then, my sister Blair showed up. She showed the cops her ID and took Eric with her. My parents tried to stop her, but the police intervened and kept them at bay. Then the cops stayed behind until my parents gathered their stuff and left the premises. My sister locked my house and took the keys from them. My parents tried to call and scream at me about the whole situation, but I didn't answer their calls. They started texting me with some weird messages, so I recorded all their texts because they were getting really interesting. What you did today wasn't right, Taylor. There will be consequences for this. You have no right to take Eric away from us. I can't believe you're my daughter. I hate you. You won't be able to keep us away, Taylor. You're a working woman. You won't be with Eric all the time. We'll get visitation from the court, and then we'll take Eric away from you. One CPS call from us can take Eric away. If you think you're smart, we're much smarter. We'll call CPS and tell them bad stuff. They'll place Eric in our care, and he'll never return to you. We know where Eric goes to school. We know your address. We'll find a way to be with him. You can't stop us. If you act crazy, we'll take him away from you. You'll never see him again. My parents are not only horrible, but also very foolish. They still expect that everything will go their way. They had no idea what I was going to do. Only time will show them. Meanwhile, Carl had already made a huge mistake by teaming up with my parents. He would suffer as well. I quickly finished my work and returned home as soon as possible. Blair kept Eric safe, and he was staying at her house. Eric was extremely relieved to see me again. "Mom, you came back. I thought you wouldn't come back for me." "Eric, what are you saying?" "I went on a business trip. Of course, I was coming back. Dad said you had left me, Mom. He said he would take me away with him and showed me pictures of his house and everything. I was scared. I didn't want to go with him." "Eric, listen to me. I will never let Carl take you or even be near you again. I'm not going anywhere. I promise you." I spent a long time consoling Eric and making sure he was okay. Apparently, Carl was talking about me abandoning him and how he was there to take Eric away. I was furious at Carl. CPS did get involved and heard Eric's account. They recommended therapy, and Eric is already going to one. I have also signed up for group therapy for both of us. Our therapist is great and really helps us deal with our trauma. All the documentation of crimes committed by Carl was used by my lawyer in court. He was charged with attempted kidnapping and violating a restraining order. He's looking at jail time. I'm currently in the process of terminating Carl's rights to Eric. My son deserves a good dad, not an abuser like Carl. My lawyer is skilled, and we are hoping for a smooth process. As for my parents, they tried to sue me for grandparent rights, but the judge dismissed the case after seeing my court history and the texts they sent. I went a step ahead and got restraining orders against them, which the judge approved right away. Currently, I have moved with my son to a different state. I got a promotion at work and took a higher position in a different city, which helped me move away from my parents. Blair visits me from time to time and has cut off contact with our parents. She's even considering moving to my city. My parents are having a hard time financially since Blair and I stopped helping them. They were forced to look for extra jobs, and lawyer fees drained their savings, making them financially unstable. Meanwhile, my son and I are thriving in this new environment. I have no intention of ever contacting my parents or allowing Carl to traumatize my son again.